All right, welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at the Bull Demon King
Okay.
from Journey to the West. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people know Journey to the West. Obviously, the Monkey King's like the main character everybody knows.
Right.
But this is kind of a deep dive into one of the antagonists or
Yeah.
one of the... I don't even know. Is he really a villain?
Yeah. That's
He's kind of more complex than that.
he's a complex character. I think that's a good
Yeah.
way to put it.
So we've got some excerpts here that kind of analyze him.
Right.
And so I thought it'd be fun to just kind of go through and see, what we find out about him.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So, I mean, right off the bat, he's got this title, the Great Sage Who Levels Heaven.
Right. Right away, he's a big deal.
Right.
He's not messing around. That's a pretty bold title.
You don't just call yourself that.
Well, yeah, it's not like, Phil who works at the corner store. This is a big claim he's making.
Yeah.
And it really kind of sets the stage for his character and how he acts.
Yeah. I mean, he's basically saying he's challenging like the celestial order.
Right. He is a rival to the heavens.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is you mentioned Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, right? These guys were sworn brothers.
Yeah.
Like, best buds, thick as thieves.
Yeah, it wasn't just like a casual thing. They were like,
No, they were like
leading a demon gang together.
they were like a powerful fraternity of demon chaos.
Yeah.
And that relationship really kind of adds this extra layer of complexity.
Yeah.
Because, on the one hand you have this bond of brotherhood, this loyalty, but on the other hand you have this ambition.
Yeah. How do you choose?
Right. How do you reconcile those two,
Yeah.
And especially when that ambition might lead you down a path that puts you at odds with your sworn brother.
Right.
And that's really kind of, a big part of the Bull Demon King's story is this struggle between loyalty and ambition.
Yeah. And on top of that, he's got a family, right?
Right.
He's got Princess Ironfan,
Yes.
who is a powerful figure in her own right.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got their son, Red Boy.
Yes.
And it's another layer on top of everything else.
It is. And it really kind of adds to his motivations and his complexities because now he's not just, this ambitious demon lord.
Right.
He's also a husband and a father.
Right.
And Princess Ironfan, I mean, she's not just some demon housewife.
Right. She's got the banana fan.
She's got the banana fan, which is
I mean, that's a crazy powerful artifact.
That's a serious piece of magical equipment. It can extinguish the flames of hell.
Yeah.
So, she is a force to be reckoned with, and that obviously has an influence on the Bull Demon King.
Yeah. It's interesting too because like it's kind of like a reversal of traditional gender roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, traditionally you think of the male figure as being the one with the power, the one with the magical weapon. But in this case, it's Princess Ironfan who's got the big gun, so to speak. And it adds this really interesting dynamic to their relationship.
Yeah. And she's not just kind of like a passive character. She actually is, making things happen.
Right. She's driving the plot. She's influencing, the Bull Demon King's decisions.
Right.
And then you throw Red Boy into the mix, who's, their son, and he's a whole other can of worms.
He's a handful.
He's a mischievous little,
Yeah, he causes some problems for the pilgrims. Oh yeah, yeah.
But it is interesting that the Bull Demon King, I mean, a lot of his actions are driven by this love and this protectiveness for his family.
Right.
Which is not something you normally see in a big bad demon lord.
Right, exactly. It kind of humanizes him a little bit. It makes him relatable. Even though he's this powerful, demon king, he's also a husband and a father who loves his family and wants to protect them.
Yeah.
And that makes his choices, even the questionable ones, a little bit more understandable.
Right.
Yeah. You can kind of see where he's coming from.
Yeah. And I mean, you can't talk about the Bull Demon King without talking about his battles with Sun Wukong. I mean, they're epic.
Oh, they are legendary. I mean, talk about a clash of the titans.
Yeah.
You've got these two incredibly powerful, beings going head to head. And the Bull Demon King, I mean, he's got this incredible strength.
Yeah.
He's got this ability to shapeshift.
Yeah. He can turn into all these different animals.
And it's not just like a physical thing either.
No.
It's almost like these transformations represent different aspects of his personality.
Right, exactly. Like, he'll turn into a bull, which is obviously a symbol of strength and power.
Right.
Or he'll turn into a tiger, which represents ferocity and cunning.
Right.
And so, these transformations are not just, random. They're very deliberate, and they really kind of add this extra layer of symbolism to the story.
Yeah.
And they also show that he's not just a brute force kind of guy. He's got brains. He's adaptable.
Yeah.
He's cunning. He's got all these different tools at his disposal.
But even with all of that, he loses, right? He loses in the end.
He does.
And it's not even just Sun Wukong who takes him down.
Right.
I mean, the heavens, they get involved.
Yeah, the celestial bureaucracy comes down on him pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like they're making a point,
Right.
Like don't mess with us.
Right. And it kind of brings us back to that title of his, right?
Yeah.
The great sage who levels heaven.
Yeah.
He challenged the cosmic order.
Yeah.
And ultimately the cosmic order prevailed.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you think about, the limits of individual ambition.
Right.
And the consequences of defying those in power.
Yeah. So I mean, it is a cautionary tale in a way.
Yeah, it is.
But it's more complex than that too.
It is. It's a story of ambition and power, but it's also a story of love and loyalty.
Yeah.
And family and it's a story of a complex individual who is ultimately flawed,
right,
but also in some ways sympathetic.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to feel a little bad for him.
I know. Even though he does some pretty bad things.
Yeah.
You can kind of understand where he's coming from.
Right.
And that's what makes him such a compelling character.
Yeah. I mean, he's powerful, he's loyal to his family, but ultimately his ambition kind of leads to his downfall.
Right. He lets his ambition get the better of him.
Yeah.
And that's a lesson that we can all, take to heart.
Yeah. So there you go. The Bull Demon King.
The Bull Demon King.
What do you guys think?
I'm curious to hear what the listeners think.
Is he a villain? Is he more than that?
Is he a tragic figure?
Is he just an ambitious, demon lord?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive into Journey to the West.
Always an adventure.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
See ya.